Have you ever been encouraged by anybody saying, go after what you want? Well, what if I told you that maybe that was not the best encouragement? Hello everyone, I am Jarisa and welcome back. Maybe if this is your first time seeing me, you might not notice, but for those of you that have maybe followed me for a little bit of time now, or that you've seen me in other things, you will notice that I've slimmed down a little bit. Or hopefully you will notice, people say that the camera adds 10 pounds. Nonetheless, the point is that yes, indeed, I have lost about 50 pounds or so. That's like a whole little person. But anyways, it's taken me a while, roughly I would say 6, maybe 7 months to get me to this point. I am not done. I still have a little bit ways to go, but right now it's feeling pretty good, I might add. But nonetheless, here are just a little bit of thoughts of what this really has made me reflect on. I work at a childcare center, and all that means is that I direct a childcare center. And so I interact with parents. So parents come, drop off their child. We sometimes just have chats about progress, about their children. And then also parents, when they pick up, sometimes we do a little bit of small talk. Well, a couple of days ago, a parent came into the center and they were like, wow, you lost some weight. They finally noticed. Granted, I just told you I've been doing this now for the past couple of months, but this was kind of like one of those times that it was just obvious to that person. Like they could see it. Maybe it was the way I was dressed that day. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, they noticed. And so they asked me about it, because weight loss is just one of those things that when you see someone do something that works, we want to know what's the secret. Did you crack the code? There's no secret. It's nothing that has been, it's not a wheel that was reinvented or anything like that. I've just been sticking to a system, a program, a routine, a discipline, and it's gotten me here. This is not a weight loss video, I promise. But nonetheless, I just had to kind of share a little bit of that. So the point is that when the person says that, I tell them, well, this is what I've kind of been doing and it's been working for me, and I'm going to ride out the wave until I get to where I want to be. And right as the person was leaving and going out the door, he's like, oh, well, now all you're missing is to have a baby. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm like, no, like maybe later, yes. But right now, like what possesses you to say such a thing? Nonetheless, I stood there with my poker face and I smiled and I'm like, okay, because what's the point of even like arguing that point? Anyhow, I digress. So when the parent left, I was left thinking like, oh, what was it about that encounter that bothered me? And frankly, it took me a couple of days to get to the bottom of it. And this is it. The truth for me is that, based on what the person said, they were kind of hinting at that maybe I was doing this because there is something I want in my near future, where in reality, in my deep internal self, I know that I know that the reason why I'm doing it is because there's just something I don't want in my future. So when I started my weight loss journey, one of the primary things was that at a trivial level, right, at like just a physical appearance wise, I'm like, I don't want to be fat, or I don't want to be a certain weight. Not necessarily a number, but more so a certain condition that I didn't want to be in, right? I tend to be high energy at times and I don't like to feel winded. So I did not want to be a person that kind of just like loses their breath going up the stairs. No, thank you. Then the other thing was that at a health level, I don't want diabetes. Like I don't want to do with the needles. I don't want to do with all the pricking and then figuring out those numbers and making it all work. I just don't want to be depending upon certain medications. Then the other thing is that I just simply did not want to carry around the weight because I knew what got me to that place, right? A couple of years ago when I was going through a very difficult time, I used food as comfort and it got me like at my heaviest. And it was something that didn't happen overnight. It was just something that happened, kind of over a period of time. And so when I thought about my future, I just said, I just don't want want to go into another season of life knowing that I'm carrying the weight from a time of things that I just, I was struggling with, right? I just did not want that to carry with me. And for all those things that I didn't want, then that's what truly motivated me to go on this journey. And now here I am, nearly 50 pounds lighter. It feels good, and just like that parent that I encountered a few days ago, it's, at times people don't necessarily notice it, right? Because sometimes change, or the things that when we progress in certain areas of life, those are things that we notice them over a period of time. Now, every single day I lose ounces, or I trim down just a minuscule amount of fat. But nonetheless, if on the scale on a given week, the scale will go kind of like up and down. Now, the net effect might be a loss for the week. However, if you see me tomorrow, you're not going to know that I lost any ounce, not even half an ounce. You're not going to see it. It's not going to be noticeable. If you see me a week from now, you can hardly tell that I might have lost a pound, maybe a little bit, less, a little bit more. I don't know. Now, if you see me a couple of months from now, you'll be like, oh snap, you look like a different person. Hopefully not. I hope that I look like myself. But the thing is that after the, sometime is when you're really going to notice the change. And a lot of times when we're working away from things that we don't want, that's how we will notice progress. We may not notice progress immediately, but we're going to notice it way down the line, right? So if I ask you, what are some things that you don't want in your life? How would you answer that question? And based upon that answer, then maybe we can have some conversations about what to do to get you to move away from that, right? But like, think with me. This doesn't just apply to weight loss. This also applies to our relationship statuses, right? So if you don't want to be single the rest of your life, well then maybe you want to work away from being someone that is not desirable, whatever that may mean to you. Maybe that means some adjustments emotionally. Maybe that means healing in a certain area of your life, or heck, maybe that even means, somewhat of a makeover or some, appearance, improvement, you can call it. You're beautiful just how you are. You're handsome just how you are. But think about it, right? What are some of the things that you don't want in your near future, and what do you have to do to get away from that? The other thing is, in the weight loss process, right? I'm not gonna lie, I love cake. I love ice cream. Cake and ice cream got me to where I was at my heaviest, right? Now, if I focus on the cake and the ice cream, I want it. But if I focus on that which I want, then that's really not going to motivate me to move away from the excess weight that I was carrying, right? Now, if I focus on the person that I don't want to be, right? The unhealthy me that I don't want to be, then that's a stronger motivator. So the same can apply to our areas of life. If you focus on those things that you want, it may be harder for you to sustain change in the long run, right? Because the truth of the matter is, if I would have focused on the piece of cake, then I would not be able to stand here roughly 50 pounds lighter to talk about it and reflect on it. So think about what are some areas in your life that you don't want to be the way that things are right now. And then let's talk about it. Or just let me know. Maybe, there's some other things for you. But, all of this talk about what I want, what I don't want, it really makes me think about that verse in the Bible that says, the thing that I want, I don't do. And the thing that I don't want, I actually do. And that's the example of the piece of cake. Cake is delicious and I want it. And so if I focus on it, then I am going to eat cake all day long. But if I go and think and reframe my thoughts to the things that maybe that I don't want, then that's going to kind of just carry me that much further into the type of life that I want to live. So let me know for you what might be some of those things, and then maybe we just chat about it. So thank you for bearing with me. Hopefully you didn't think this was a weight loss video, because It really wasn't, but it's just the most practical example I can give at this moment. So with that, feel free to share some thoughts, and until next time, bye bye.